SUV TV, the penultimate game of the night, 53-51 Miller Grove over Cross Creek, and we're back high atop on the second level of Holy Episcopal here, just past 8 o'clock here in Atlanta, Georgia. We get set for our last matchup of the night here in the 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tipoff Classic, and here's a team that's just having entirely too much fun on a Saturday night. I haven't had this much fun on a Saturday night in years. It's quite something. You won't know what it is, but it's between the three of us. It's some fun going on. We're back.
Oh my gosh.
And we're back. Corey Hodges, Faith Daniels, the coach, and that's Mike Thompson. This has been a fun day, a fun evening, and we round it up here, Coach, with a look back to Miller Grove and Cross Creek in a 53-51 final. You get two in double figures on each side, and you see Lorick, who wound up with 16 in the loss, 21 from Mathis, and 2 boards in Miller Grove's win. Another game that was close right to the end.
Yeah, rebounding probably told most of the story in this one. Miller Grove out-rebounded Cross Creek. They were on the glass pretty heavy. They shot the ball a little bit better in the second half. Cross Creek's going to be okay. They're playing above really their class, and I think they'll eventually be good. But they've got some work to do. This is a good game for them. Miller Grove looks pretty good. I think they're going to have a solid season too. So a good game, a close game. Anytime you can play a close game, that's good for everybody.
That's right. It was a competitive game right to the finish. I know that we've gone in on a couple of extra thoughts for these games, but of course with McEachern and Grovetown getting set, the elephant in the room, as they say, the thing that we have to mention is, of course, coach here, Mike Thompson, a state title, a long, illustrious career at McEachern, and had some of the best players in the state of Georgia under his tutelage, and it gives us a perfect opportunity to talk about what's always a fun talking point, Coach. I should say an interesting talking point, which is that end of an era and that transition. And now with what Coach Carruthers is doing at McEachern, you're the expert on everything here. How's that process been going for him?
Well, I think it's been pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Tremaine Ankrum is a guy who's coached in our middle school program, who worked his way up, went to Pebblebrook for a while, came back to McEachern. Brandon Carruthers actually played for me. Those two guys done a great job with McEachern. Tremaine has kind of taken over and led that group, but they've got great players. One of the best players in the country is Ace Bailey. They've got some other good players, good shooter. Grovetown is coming off of a state championship and just got probably 3 or 4 top players all going to college already. I think Georgia State's already got a commit from the Ferguson kids, so I think it's going to be a great game. This should be one of the better games of the day.
Yeah, and Faith, I wanted to get you in on this. You know, we've been talking to Coach about his experience there, you know, turning a page, getting to that next chapter, if you will, and you're constantly trying to see kind of who that next person is. And as Coach said, you know, Antrim has stepped into that role. We reached out and spoke to Antrim earlier this week, but you're taking over from someone who's kind of a legend around here, someone who's done so much. Extra pressure, in a way. It has to come with that anytime you take over, and that's what McEachern is going through now with Antrim.
Well, first, I think it should just be an honor for any coach to come after a coach that's done so much for the program. But like we were talking about offline, you know, again, pay homage, but do what you got to do to create your own legacy and your own name. I'm hoping Coach will have, you know, some type of loyalty to his team. Hopefully you're rooting for, you know, your team.
Well, I tell you what,
we'll see.
I mean, I love Tremaine. He's done a great job. I even drive the bus for him sometimes, so I can stay around him and be part of it. So, I have a lot of respect for him. I love the school. I have a lot of great ties with them.
Yeah, it's been a story that has to be told and something that you should look up in your extra time as well. Pretty inspiring stuff. On the other side is a friend of the SUV TV team. Had a chance to work with him about a year or so ago, and that's on a broadcast of Augusta University basketball. And that's, of course, Darren Douglas, who leads Grovetown. And Grovetown, a team that looks good again, and Darren Douglas is just that kind of coach who is a no-nonsense guy, X's and O's guy, and like yourself, Coach, he knows ball.
He does. They do a great job. They've got kind of a pipeline now of guys in their youth program moving up, got that kind of thing going. Once you do that and you have a great coach and a great staff, I look for them to do good things for many years to come.
Yeah, Grovetown and McEachern coming up. I suppose the last thought before we get set to go into this final game is everybody wants to go out on a good note, right, Faith? You want to put the highlights out there?
Of course. I know earlier today I was complaining about height, but looking at the height that I see, first off when I looked when they ran out, but looking on this piece of paper, it's a lot of height. So I can't wait to see the bounce that we should see. Let's see some dunking, some excitement, explosions. I can't wait. So, I can't wait to see that.
That's it. Yeah, we were postured for a bet before this game. Marcus Burnett came over, doer of all things here at SUV TV, Marcus Burnett, and he kind of put everyone on the spot. I would say Grovetown tonight, not just because I know Coach Douglas not very well, but enough, and he shares my middle name, but I know him well enough. I'll go Grovetown. Faith?
I'm going to let you go first.
Yeah.
I'm going to go McEachern so we can put some pressure on Faith to let her make the final decision, so I'm going to stick with my guy.
That's right. Look at Faith getting the once over.
Faith's getting one more look.
That's
to
right.
See what she thinks.
It's like Price is Right.
I'm going to say Grovetown. We're going to
so it's me against them. Here we
go.
Period.
2-on-1. We'll find out, along with watching the first and second quarters as we break for one more time. We'll be back at halftime, and of course to wrap it up, our fun night will continue along with you watching on SUV TV as well. The play-by-play, the analyst is next. Coming up, final matchup of the night of the 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tipoff Classic. It's Grovetown and McEachern to close down your Saturday night the week before Thanksgiving. We're back after this on SUV TV.
Hi, I'm Dominique Wilkins, and welcome to my backyard and CBA Sports. At CBA Sports, we create family fun and a lifetime of memories. From our custom-built court systems, putting greens, synthetic lawn, to complete outdoor living spaces. From a single court to your own backyard fantasy, we can do any or all to accommodate your yard, your budget, and your lifestyle. As president of CBA Sports, I invite you to stop by our design center where you can see and play on all our products. I hope to see you soon.
You see, Head & Shoulders has scalp shield technology, protects against flakes even between washes. It's never not working.
Kind of like us. We're never not working. Number 15?
That's my rub.
Ooh, nice.
Never not working.
Never, ever, never, ever not working.
Welcome everybody to Juneau, Alaska.
I don't like this one.
Me neither.
Let's get out of here.
Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders scalp shield technology.
It is game number 6 of the 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic from Holy Innocents on SUV TV. The 17th ranked team in all the land, Grovetown, preseason ranked 19th, taking on the 38th ranked team, according to Max Preps, in 7A in the state of Georgia, McEachern, the Indians. It's Brandon Carruthers versus Darren Douglas and their respective squads. I'm Charles McNeil, and the coach in the lab working with me, D-Lab, Man, you got a chance to watch two outstanding games that came down to the final seconds.
Definitely.
We can only hope that this one lives up to that same billing.
I'm not sure if it's going to come down to a last possession or not, but what I do know is there's a lot of size, there's a lot of athleticism, there's a ton of talent. We got some college coaches in here to watch this game, and you can kind of feel the excitement building in the gym.
No doubt about it. We've got the Grovetown Warriors fresh off the state championship, 6A titleists, 29-3 a year ago, 10-0 in Region 3 6A, taking on Brandon Carruthers. As you heard Coach Mike Thompson say that he lives, eats, and breathes Indians basketball, and he loves them. You know, will drive the bus and anything else that's needed for their success. They were 15-10 a year ago, 5-3 in Region 2 7A. They were the second seed. This is the first ever meeting between these two teams. The Grovetown Warriors out of Columbia County, McEachern out of Cobb County. It should be a great contest indeed. And as we said, nationally ranked is Grovetown. I've seen them in their opening two contests versus Westside in the Ricky Moore Invitational. It was fantastic. Came down to the wire against Westside on their home floor. That was the final game there. And the final game in this event, Grovetown gets the top billing. But the opening tip is controlled by McEachern. They're in the gold with the black, and they have control of the basketball. Bringing in the front court, that's Jamichael Davis. As he has the ball at the top of the circle. Looks left side, finds his man Moses. Hip, comes up short, rebounded, and the layup is up and down. Put that one in. That is Jalen Hilliard.
Great misdirection action to get the game started right there, and ended up with a wide open jump shot. Nice offensive rebound and finish. Good answer by Grovetown. Two well-coached teams that are going to just play the game the right way, and I think this is going to be one that everybody who's watching is going to enjoy.
Markel Freeman with the field goal there. 13 of his 18 points in the first half versus Cross Creek. He loves to get off to a fast start, as does that young man right there, knocking down the triple. Arias Bailey.
I hate to throw this on young kids because they just have so much time to develop, but he has a chance to be a pro. I mean, everybody knows it. He's long, he's athletic, he can make jump shots, he can put the ball on the floor, he can just do everything that you need him to do. But Grovetown has their share of guys who are going to be high-level college players who have a chance to be pros too, so we're going to have action from end to end.
There's another shot right there by Bailey. He's 2 for 2 from long range. That dunk you saw down the other end, that is Grovetown's best player, most highly sought-after player. That's Derrion Reid.
He's a good player, man. Derrion Reid's really good. But if Ace Bailey's making threes, it's going to be a long night because he can do a lot of other stuff. Shooting the ball from the perimeter is probably what people would say is one of his weaknesses.
Speaking of perimeter jump shots, there's one that goes up but misses the mark. That's Hilliard. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be Grovetown basketball.
Must be nice, to sub in a 6'10" sophomore off the bench from McEachern. A lot of colleges don't sub in 6'10" players.
Jamarion Davis coming in. Franquan Sherman. They work it over to Ferguson. And he knocks down the triple.
Yeah, Grovetown would not be intimidated at all. I think it's a little bit of chirping going on for the bench of McEachern, but the Grovetown team kind of feeds off of that.
Malik Ferguson, that backcourt is outstanding. Ferguson leading the way in the backcourt with an 18.5 point a game average. Derrion Reid listed as a guard, although he's the tallest player in the starting lineup. He averages 17, and then Markel Freeman averages 14.5.
Great defense by Derrion Reid right there. As you can see on the replay, nice kick to the guy who was cutting to the paint. That was number 0, Markel Freeman, with the finish around the rim.
Ferguson drives and gets caught in the air. He travels.
Good defense by number 1, Jamichael Davis right there. Did a great job containing the ball handler, Malik Ferguson, who, as you have mentioned, is a high-powered scoring guard.
The blow by leads to the jump shot. That's knocked down. Putting that one home is Bailey. So he gets one from 2-point range. He's got 8 already.
And I don't know what you're supposed to do with that shot he just made right there, but I love the answer from 35.
Derrion Reid.
Derrion Reid answering right there. He's not intimidated.
Yeah,
Ace Bailey's playing great, but he's not intimidated at all.
I was going to say, the thing about Reid is he has the capabilities to play in the point, can get the ball inside as well and execute, as we saw on the two-hand slam. Ferguson driving and loses control of the basketball for the second time in there. And now the other way. Pump fake and a drive. That's a charge.
Good defense.
That's DJ Douglas. That's his focal point, the defensive end. He made a couple of key defensive stops. Watch the turnaround jump shot. That's pure right there. Reid misfires, rebounded. Sherman,
good block.
Strong left-handed player, gets it rejected inside.
It's a lot of athleticism out here tonight.
No doubt. Pulling up from way downtown. Rebounded by Sherman, looking to run. 3-on-3, opportunity. Freeman drives the lane. There's a whistle and a foul.
If you go in there and attack the paint tonight, you better be going in there looking for a contact, and you better be going in there looking to finish over length and athleticism. Grovetown has a 6'10", 7-foot guy they got sitting on the bench too. He's a young fella, but I've heard some good things from college coaches about his potential.
You're talking about Kevin Curtis, 14 years of age, already has offers from North Carolina A&T and Kennesaw State as a 14-year-old.
That list will grow exponentially. And that's the matchup you want to see right there. Derrion Reid against Ace Bailey. Kind of surprised that wasn't called a foul.
Letting him play in the early going. Freeman has it into the front court. Goes to Ferguson. Up top to Reid. Now a bullet pass down low. As Aaron Nomel is now in the lineup. And as he drives, oh my goodness.
Wow. I love the way you caught yourself right there, but I would say that would be called a foul in most gyms. But again, sometimes I like for the officials to allow the guys to play and let the guys on the court determine who's going to win. You just don't want it to be egregious.
It's early going in this one. Hopefully no impact on the final results. Good rebound inside. The Indians forcing the issue and scoring. Getting it inside and putting it down.
Great athletic finish by Ernest Afrimo. Man, Derrion Reid is attacking the basket with reckless. He is not scared at all. I've heard a lot about him, and I've seen highlight videos. I've never seen him up close and personal. He's living up to all the hype that I've heard about him.
Well, you know Kaylon Hudson that plays at Westside. You've seen him play, I'm sure, on the AAA level and AA since they moved down. And that young man, since the 8th grade, hasn't changed. Last Friday, a week ago Friday, they had a matchup, he and Derrion Reid, and they went tit for tat.
I would have loved to see that.
It was a tremendous game. Both of them, of course, coming out on the winning side of that was Grovetown.
And they love their basketball down in the Augusta area, so I imagine it was a packed gym.
It was, yeah, 1,400. And I think they had the capacity of 12.
Exactly, exactly. Whatever the number is, it was too many.
That's right. But not for those in attendance. They loved every bit of it. Driving the lane, of course, SUV-TV brought coverage of that as well.
They always do.
And there's the drive. Sherman gets rejected for the second time. Franquan Sherman has been a fantastic player since his freshman year at Lincoln County.
Sherman's got to realize that attacking the basket is not for the faint of heart tonight. You're going to have to go in there with all that, every bit of strength and athleticism that you have.
Pack a lunch, huh?
Yes, you will. Put your hard hat on.
Sherman will check out, have some conversations with his assistant coaches. As Aaron Nomel comes back in for the second time. Amongst the regulars, Nomel is the tallest player. He and Derrion Reid.
I love the way Reid fought for that ball because that could have been a turnover.
There's Nomel. Quick with the turnaround. There's Reid trying to punch one.
I got to be honest. I was skeptical early, but I'm loving the way the officials are letting them play now because you're getting to see everything.
And there's a rejection. 2 guys up there above the rim.
Oh, this is a high-level game right here, man. No offense to the games that we saw earlier, but this looks different. This looks different right here. I'm surprised there's actually not more college coaches in the gym. Even though this is a mid-season game, which is hard for college coaches to get to, there's too much talent in the gym not to be here. Charlton Young from Missouri is over here, associate head coach. All the scouting service guys are in here. I'm sure we got a lot of college coaches tuned in to the SUV TV who covers all the best games across the country.
We make it easy for them.
Yes, we do. Marcus Burnett and Lisa Burnett do a great job. Best in the business.
Dynamic duo. None better. From the perimeter. Looking for something. Nothing available. They'll swing it around the perimeter. And there's a steal.
I was about to say that had to be a foul.
Ferguson with the theft.
Hey, look at the bodies on it. This is like a college game. I mean, these kids are put together. You can tell they're putting the time and effort in the weight room, strength and conditioning. I mean, this doesn't look like a high school game at all.
That's
Both
Ferguson.
teams very disciplined as well.
Freeman at the top. Now he'll drive. Get to the cup, but can't finish. Davis has it. He'll set up the offense from the top, driving the lane,
Nice
lays it up
finish.
and down.
Good
Michael
patience
Davis.
from Floyd. He's a good player. He was down in South Georgia last year. He's moved up. You got 3 or 4 guys that are new to this McEachern team, but are high-level players that are coming from their respective areas. So they're not familiar with these type of situations, but they are coming in and stepping up and playing well.
Mel bobbled the pass and then tried to flush it. Here's Reid. Juke move. Drives, puts it off the window, count it, and a foul.
Reid is the one guy that the athleticism has not deterred him from continuing to attack the rim. He feels like he can go in there regardless of the scenario or regardless of the situation and finish through contact. He's a high level player. And I'm sure that schools all across the country are looking for his services.
Yeah, he's just a junior, 6'8". Coach told us that he's currently the 53rd rated player in the ESPN Top 100.
He will be higher than that when it's all said and done.
That's what he said.
It's not 52 players better than him. I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of basketballs. It's not 52 players better than that kid.
Nice pull-up jump shot right there. Calling your own number and knocking it home. That's Jaden Bynes. Reid got away with the travel on that one, I believe. On the wing.
I love how both coaches got the 2 best players guarding each other.
It's a strip.
Good strip by Ace Bailey. Let's see what he does with it. Oh, goodness. Good finish. So he starts off with the 2 deep threes and a mid-range, and then now he shows you the athleticism off the steal.
Arius Bailey putting on a show.
Darren Reid is not going anywhere, though. It's going to be a game all night. I love it.
Take that one. We're deadlocked at 18. Final seconds of the opening quarter.
It's no way there are 2 better juniors in the state than Ace Bailey and Darren Reid. It's got to be the matchup of the best juniors in the state. Good hands.
That's that guard combination.
I think that's a good call. He held his jersey.
High energy coach Darren Douglas. He's itching at the bit. He's trying to keep himself contained on the sidelines as he watched this action back and forth.
You can tell that both programs have taken on the personalities of their coaches, though, because even though they're tenacious and they play hard, you can tell they're very poised and under control and know what they're trying to accomplish. It's not a wild, out-of-control game. I love the use of shot fakes, jab steps. You can tell all these things are being taught and preached and coached on a daily basis. Both teams are well-versed in discipline.
That's Hips at the line.
Moses Hips, all-name team, another all-name team guy.
No question.
We've had quite a few today. He's actually got good size on the perimeter himself. He has on the EYBL tights. I'm not sure what team, Nike team he played for, but those are pretty exclusive tights. You see it from Derrion Reid as well.
Moses with 3. Desperation heave, and that concludes the first quarter play. We played 1 in the 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic, and we've got a 3-point game on SUV TV. It's the 22 Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic from Holy Innocents in Atlanta, Georgia, alongside the coach D-Lab, Charles McNeil. Second quarter action getting underway with Grovetown in possession, trailing by 3. Warriors were paced by 11 points by Derrion Reid. Franquan Sherman looking for his first field goal and his second shot attempt. And back the other way. Front iron on that shot, that's Reid high above the rim with the board.
They always say cream rises to the top, man, and so far, Derrion Reid with 11 points, 4 or 6 from the field. Arius Bailey with 10 points. He's 4 or 5 from the field, and they have completely put their stamp and imprint on the game. 2 high-level players that, even in a high-level game, are showing that they're head and shoulders above their counterparts.
Coach Douglas big about execution as he brings in one of his bench mob. To knock down that shot, that's Amari Clark.
He comes in and makes an immediate impact. You can tell that he was kind of poised and ready for his moment when he came out to begin the quarter. And they need some scoring from someone else, too.
Tying things up at 21.
Tough finish by Jermichael Davis. He's a good player, man. Really good finish.
Davis has 4. And what a move right there.
Woo.
In the end, Malik Ferguson.
He is a blur, and he is physical. I'm surprised he doesn't play football down there as well. He has a body of a linebacker.
He was Jonas Hayes' first recruit at Georgia State.
Wow, that's a good one to get. That is a good one to get. He will be starting early for Georgia State. I can tell you that right now.
Clark handing it off. Ferguson.
I love Darren Ferguson. He shot fakes on every catch and just makes you kind of respect the defense.
Which opens it up the room for his teammates to make buckets.
Very unselfish player. He's got 11 points, but he hasn't forced the action at all.
Ferguson's third field goal. He's got 8.
I feel like McEachern came out with a little bit of buzz about themselves, and they played as well as they could play earlier. And Grovetown kind of has just settled in. It's going to be interesting to see what this score is at the half. Because Grovetown, even though it's a tight game, seems to have control, in my opinion.
Reid lining up one. Front iron with that attempt. Rebounded by DJ Douglas off his hands, and it'll go out of bounds.
They got quite a few live body athletes on their roster. It's a good offensive rebound attempt right there by DJ Douglas.
Yeah, the coach's son.
Oh, wow. Now that you say it, it's obvious. They look just alike. That's got to be an interesting dynamic coaching your son.
Oh, yeah. Well, he doesn't give him any shorts, I can tell you that.
Tough finish.
Hips, once again, he scored in every variety.
He's taken a couple threes early, and I didn't know how I felt about his shot, but that one he just made right there made me feel like he's a good three-point shooter, and that's kind of what he does. Jermichael would dunk it on you now. I've seen him. He's slippery in transition. He's a good player.
He's got 6 now.
And he's a senior. Good pass by Reid. You see that play?
Yes. Working around the horn.
Good ball movement. They don't force it.
Remember, the shot clock in Georgia basketball means you've got plenty of time to get shots off. Loose ball, he needs help.
Good fight by both teams.
Here comes
Jermichael.
Jermichael to the basket.
Explosive in transition, man.
He's got 8 quick ones. 6 here in the second quarter.
He's a blur in transition. That's what he does best.
Largest lead for McEachern is 6.
Okay. Just when I thought Grovetown had all the momentum, McEachern has stolen it right back.
That was a lob that wound up finding its way into the hole.
He'll take it, though. Oh, man. I love to see Coach Douglas fire right there. He is not happy with that transition defense. They gave up 6 quick ones in transition, and just like that, they're down 8. So Michael Davis right here with 1. He actually had 2 of those in that short little stint right there. This one right here, Hips, got to the rim. Nice little floater. He's played well. Quiet assassin. Steal right there to Michael Davis. Look at the speed, look at the burst. You can't even contest that.
We talked about Moses Hips scoring in a variety of different ways. So have the Indians. They've scored from the perimeter. They've scored inside, and they've knocked down their free throws. A complete basketball team, and this could be their time.
And it's been a little bit of everyone. It started out with kind of the Ace Bailey show, but as time has gone on, everybody has kind of found their niche and found their way to score, and multiple guys have impacted the game in multiple ways.
Timeout on the floor. 4:04 left to play before the break. An 8-point lead for the team in the gold, as they are a team that scores 72 points a contest while yielding 67.5 points a game. Grovetown scores 75 a contest while yielding 63. So both teams right there in that same area, and would be indicative of a game that should come down to the wire.
I haven't seen Westside. Obviously, you were at that game, and we're still early in this game, but is it fair to say that McEachern is as talented, if not a little bit more talented than Westside?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely more talented than Westside.
Yeah.
And again, the thing about Westside is the bulk of their team has played together for 4 years.
So they're experienced. They got a great feel for each other. These guys have actually kind of gelled and meshed quickly, because you have major cogs on this McEachern team that were not here last year. Last year was Ace Bailey and a bunch of others. This year they have multiple guys that are capable of putting up numbers and putting up points. So McEachern is a much more dangerous team, a team that has a chance to win the state championship.
There's a steal.
I mean, look at Jermichael Davis. Look at that steal.
Stepping
nice
in the
decision.
passing lanes. There's Hips. Whistle and a foul was committed by the Warriors.
And I don't know if you know this, but Jamarion Davis, who's the 6'10", sophomore, came off the bench for McEachern, was ranked in the top 10 at one point. So, I mean, you got guys who are highly touted guys that are trying to find their ways on this team. And imagine if they continue to gel and they play together and they continue to work, what they could look like at the end of the year. Because this Grovetown team is a group of guys who've been together and they're experienced and they kind of know how each other plays coming off a state championship run, so you know what you're going to get with them. They'll continue to get better, but is their upside as high as McEachern?
Well, the key thing with Grovetown, I think, is that national schedule. They've now moved from more of a localized schedule with teams in their region and a few others on the periphery to playing in events like this, prestigious events, and they'll play in one next week as well, the Jared Cook against Buford.
Which is exciting, but it's a challenge, and you got to bring it every night you get on the court.
Hanging on the rim, they'll allow that for his own safety as Sherman in the front court.
He's the guy who I think he's got to put his imprint on the game, Sherman, because he's big, he's left-handed, he can do a lot of different things.
He's highly athletic as well.
He's a good player, but he just hasn't quite been able to get going today so far.
And that's the thing about this Grovetown team. They found a way in their first two contests. Obviously, the Cross Creek win, 17 points in that one, and then the 6-point win against Westside. There's been different people that have stepped up.
Yeah.
You know, you had a little bit of consistency, but for example, Sherman had 13 in his first contest against Westside, and then he's been the most consistent, 13 in the second game. So balance for him. Derrion Reid, 22 and 15 in the first game, 12 and 12 in the next one.
Okay. Derrion Reid is obviously really talented. There's no question about it. And I'm sure, your human nature tells you that when you're matched up with a kid like Ace Bailey, who's supposed to be probably on paper better than you, that you want to show and prove what you can do. He's a shooter. I like that. I love to see guys who can shoot it from deep. He shot that with confidence, too.
In the gym range with the smallest man on the court.
He's coming off the bench doing that, too. He's made 2 big threes, giving them a little bit of a spark. Now he's coming here with a steal.
Amari Clark put
He's trying to earn some more playing time.
First time Darren Douglas got up to applaud his talented guard off the bench.
Every coach loves to see his guy diving out of bounds for a loose ball. If that doesn't get you fired up as a coach, nothing will.
And coach is one of those guys that if they don't dive on the floor, they'll be running laps.
Well, those little plays, those effort plays are what really win games. Everybody gets excited about the three-pointers and the dunks, but it's really the loose balls, the box outs, the charges. That's what really wins games. The higher the level you go, the better the competition that you play against.
Yeah, they call them with the 50-50 plays, right?
50-50 balls. They win games all day.
Nearing the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 4-point game. Grovetown trailed by as many as 8. Freeman on his foray to the hole was hammered. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I love to see it when I know that the NBA game and the analytics, which is so frustrating to me, would tell you that you should shoot all threes and layups. But my opinion is the more you can get to the rim, the more you can get to the basket, the more pressure you can put on the defense, the better off you're going to be offensively. And take open threes for sure, but I'm okay with you taking an open mid-range shot, but I really want you to put pressure on that rim, regardless of whether it's the guards or the bigs. And then also what you do is you get yourself an opportunity to get to the free throw line, you get a little bit of a rest, you get to score while the clock isn't moving, which is always huge for you.
Freeman now with 6. There's
Good
a steal.
hands. Great effort right there.
Ran out of real estate.
And now Grovetown is starting to close down those lanes and make these passes a little bit more difficult and put a little bit of pressure on these McEachern guards.
They've got the defensive lineup out there as well, Coach. You look at those guys with the arms and speed, turning and facing.
Tough. Ain't no lot you can do with that. You just got to hope he misses that one.
Hit a head pass. He wasn't anticipating it. Here comes Bailey with a head of steam. Spin move. Reverse. Followed up inside.
Oh, you got to finish that putback.
And rebounded a big board it was. And save over there by the Indians. But they were on the end line for a sideline 1. Nonetheless, it'll go over to Grovetown. 87 seconds left.
I love the way Grovetown pushes even on a dead ball. Especially when you got that shot clock, that becomes important.
Rising and firing. There's Clark with the loose ball rebound.
He's played well. I think we got to get Derrion Reid some more touches, don't you?
Absolutely. Sometimes they forget about him.
I can tell.
Clark with the pull-up.
He probably forced that one right there.
Had the look. Fans wanted a double dribble on that one.
Let's see if Ace Bailey can get something in the mid post against Derrion Reid right here. I think he'll live with that shot.
Settled with the mid-range on that one, and now they come back the other way. Reid looking over the defense.
I like the way he didn't force it, but I want to see Derrion Reid get all the way to the rim on that, even if he takes his time and just plays off of 2 feet.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't come back to him after he got the ball in the corner, post up.
I think that's what he was thinking. But apparently they weren't on the same page.
Now the drive to the bucket. The lefty layup by the strong man.
He's good, man. He's a good player. Georgia State got a really good one there.
That's Malik Ferguson.
Shot clock off.
He's got 4 field goals. He's got 10. He's the leading scorer for the Warriors.
I love how Derrion Reid is taking the challenge and guard Ace one-on-one. No help. See what he does. Let's see what they do on the ball screen. Good call. I like the quick double. That's a smart, heady play by number 3, Amari Clark right there, who's made 2 threes and got a couple good deflections here.
Now they'll go man on man with 3.5 seconds left. High ball screen not there. There's the give and go.
Michael Davis, he's played well, man. Smart player, really good at those runners and floaters. Loves to use his speed to get to the rim.
So the Indians take advantage of a defensive lapse on the part of the Warriors, and they score the final basket of the first half, and they lead this one by 2 at the break. It's halftime. Our halftime festivities come up in just a few moments. You're watching the Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic on SUV TV.
SUV TV at the CP3 Rising Stars campus.
SUV TV's 2019 NBA Draft Day coverage.
Anthony Edwards Collegiate Decision, presented by the Georgia Hoop Circle on SUV TV.
SUV TV brings the game to the audience.
You give a better focus on the actual game at hand. Sometimes you could tell it's just a running camera by itself sitting there, but with SUV TV, it's more of a personal experience.
Just the exposure, being able to see games that you normally wouldn't be able to see, not only here locally, but across the country.
Those angles make you pick up different things as a coach, as an evaluator. They're giving you great quality, nobody talking in the background. I think it brings basketball to the forefront.
Whether it's a family member that was in a different state, they can watch the game, or just bringing in more coverage for these players, or if it just allows us to raise more money for something like Susan G. Komen. And so I think this event has grown because you guys have been a part of it the whole entire time.
SUV TV has given a different light to kids that don't always get the best exposure.
The commentary that goes along with the games, I think, is always interesting.
Touchdown.
Oh, yes, sir. It brings something to the table that no other streaming aspect can bring, no matter how hard they try right now.
Dayton Davian Williamson at the buzzer. That is how you get the Peachtree Corners Invitational started. And that will do it. Thanks for joining.
We're back. It's halftime of our final matchup of the evening, and it's a good one here. 38-36, McEachern over Grovetown is the halftime score. As, again, for one more time tonight, well, we'll have postgame as well, but for one more time tonight, we'll come back up here to the table, and it is halftime here on SUV TV. Corey Hodges, Faith Daniels, the coach, Mike Thompson here with you, and you look at this score here, Faith, 38-36. I see two players, almost three, in double figures for McEachern. Davis, Bailey for Grovetown, two in double figures. This is a competitive game.
It is. It's moving very fast. Both teams want to win. They're going toe-to-toe. Every time one scores, the other one has to. Just a lot of energy. It's very fun to watch.
Very fun. Good first half.
Yeah, the pace is good. Ace Bailey had 10 in the first quarter but didn't score in the second. I think that hurt McEachern a little bit, but Grovetown probably made an adjustment with him. But all the other stats are pretty similar.
Yeah.
Leads to this kind of half that we have with only a 2-point difference.
That's right. Yeah, we've got probably one of, if not the best games of the night occurring here in the final game of the night. Another good friend of SUV TV is Charles McNeil, who's been providing play-by-play of the matchup in the first half that you just watched. And before we got everything started, McNeil came up and passed along some numbers to us, which is very much appreciated. And some of these numbers were Malik Ferguson, 26 points first time out this season. That was against Westside, and he had 11 points in game 2. You look at Malik Ferguson in this one, Faith, for Grovetown, he's got 10 points. So through the first 2.5 games of the year, almost 3, Malik Ferguson is looking good for Grovetown.
He is. He definitely knows that he has to, step up. I would think being a senior, you should go out with a bang. One last ride, the last dance. You got to do what you got to do.
Right. Great start for him this season.
I think Ferguson and Reid are going to be the two guys that are leading them most of the year anyway. So they've got other complementary players. That's why they're so good. They've got more than 2 or 3 guys out there that can play.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have a great year. They're going to be one of the top teams in their class for sure.
Yeah, one area of difference here, and one more note from Charles McNeil as well. When you look at Markel Freeman for Grovetown, had a team high 18 against Cross Creek and had 11 of those in the first half, 8 against Westside, so coming in with 19 total on the season, and Freeman in the first half of this one, 6 points. But you look at both of these teams, a difference that jumps out, 6 of 12 Grovetown from 3, McEachern 3 of 11 from 3, a 3.69 point differential from outside the perimeter, Faith, for Grovetown. There's something there.
I just feel like they have to continue to play ball, honestly. Like I said, I just feel like it's a fight between the two. Maybe they know each other. You know, of course, a lot of people play AAU, so they might have played each other before. Sure. It just feels like they're very familiar with each other, so they just know what to do with each other.
Yeah, I think McEachern's probably looking for Hips is a great outside shooter for them. They need one more, and I think that's where they're trying to find that second guy that can give them the outside punch that they need.
Yeah. Rebounding battle is about as close as you can get without being tied. It's 17-16, the board battle in favor of McEachern over Grovetown, and the quarter differential, 21-18 McEachern over Grovetown in the first, and a 17-18 quarter. McEachern fell by a point to Grovetown in that second frame. Of course, second half coming up. The bets are still alive. McEachern, of course, and then Grovetown. There for a moment, Faith, I thought Coach may get us here, but it's a one-point game.
They're sticking in. They're sticking in.
Right. So our big bet tonight, if I make no other bet this year, and I haven't, this is my first one, I couldn't have done it with a better group to bet with. This is a friendly group. If you're going to bet with people, this is the group to do it with. It's a one-point game at halftime. Gosh, it's a two-point game at halftime. It's a double one. 38-36 is the lead for McEachern over Grovetown. We're having a lot of fun. It will continue for one more time up top for post-game, as we will come back after this one. Who's going to take the final game of the 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic? We will find out. Corey Hodges, Faith Daniels, Mike Thompson, the coach. You get to see us one more time tonight after the second half on SUV TV.
When you work in IT, complaints are part of the job.
Bill says the coffee's weak today.
But since CDW helped us switch to Mac, everyone's happier. Dan from finance likes getting performance without a big price tag. Phoebe digs the power of the Apple M1 chip. Mac is easy to manage, compatible with all our apps, and came pre-configured by CDW. Now we're even getting compliments.
That was Bill again, says he loves his new Mac. He's right about the coffee.
It's the 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic from Holy Innocents on SUV TV. Special thanks goes out to Corey, to Faith, and to Coach. Enjoyed the insights and highlights from the first half. Hope you did as well. What a game. Glad we had a few minutes to take a breath, Coach.
I've really enjoyed it. It's been everything. It's lived up to the billing. You got some high-level individual players, but you also have two high-level teams. You have two really well-coached teams. We have an enthusiastic crowd. I think our staff that has commentated in between games and the halftimes has done a great job giving their insight, and I'm really, really enjoying everything that SUV TV has done for this event today.
Yeah, special thanks to the Hawks and to the Naismith Foundation, the Tip-Off Classic in its third year. 6 outstanding games. The last 3 have been over the top in terms of the ability of these athletes and all of them involved to play at a very high level. So best wishes to all the teams involved in this and to all the teams around the state of Georgia and around the world for what they do, and the coaches in particular, parents obviously preparing the kids to be good and model students, athletes, and citizens. As we start the second half, Grovetown trailing in this one, 16th rated team in all the land.
Nice.
Derrion Reid, their top 53 player in the ESPN Top 100 junior class with the bucket.
I love it. They throw the ball into him in the post. He goes right to his jump hook. Teammate kind of ran into him, but he avoided him and still finished the shot. That's a high-level play.
13 for Reid. Leading scorer for his team at the end of the first half.
Got to be a foul right there.
Malik Ferguson had 10. Grovetown shot 48% on 13 of 27 from the floor, 6 of 12 from long range, and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. As for McEachern, the Indians, 15 of 32, that's 46.9%, 3 of 11 from long range, 27.3, and 5 of 7 from the stripe. 7 turnovers and 7 steals from McEachern. On the other side for Grovetown, they turned the ball over 10 times and came away with 3.
Oh, my goodness, this boy can play. That's a high-level pass right there. Because he had his mindset to go kind of one-on-one. Ace Bailey was doing a solid job on him, but his man slipped open, whipped it right around the defender for the one-hand pass. That's a big-time play.
So Reid and Freeman with the opening baskets.
And those are the ones that we want, number 2.
50-50.
Franquan Sherman to finish. He's got to finish those plays in transition.
And it comes down the other end, and they get burned. Moses hips from distance.
Hips had something for me because I did not know how I felt about his first couple of releases from 3, but that's apparently exactly what he does, is shoot threes.
He stepped right into one, and speaking of that, that's what DJ Douglas does as well. He did it in the last contest against Cross Creek.
That's his second
had
three.
The crowd going nuts.
That's his second 3, and he looks. You look at him and you think he's a post player, but he's very skilled from the perimeter. Runs the court like a deer, too. He might end up being a sleeper on this team because there's just so much talent around him. But when you're that size, that length, you play hard and you can make shots from the perimeter, coaches will find a place for you on the court.
Now is that pass you talked about.
We had a great angle on that. Great replay by the SUV TV. Yeah. Unbelievable pass by Derrion Reid.
Yeah, DJ Douglas, one of the cheerleaders on the team as well. He does a good job of supporting his teammates. He looks for the ball in the corner instead. Look at that move right there.
Good player, man. I've said it a couple of times, but Georgia State, they knew what they were doing on that one. That's a great recruit right there.
Corey talked about him at halftime, and he delivered in the early going of that contest. Third quarter of that is.
Grovetown had lost the momentum too, but they found their footing early in this third quarter. I love the effort right there, the dive. Would have been nice if he could have captured that loose ball before it went out of bounds, but Grovetown has been really solid and fundamental defensively and forced McEachern into tough shots to open this quarter.
Yeah, Grovetown on a 9-3 run to open up the third period. Hips.
He's the only guy that's made a shot so far, made the deep 3 in transition, and that's a tough mid-range jump shot right there.
Hips, who had 9 in the first, now has 14. Their leading scorers at the break, JaMychal Davis with 10 and Arias Bailey with 10.
And Hips is a little bit of a sneaky player because the other guys are kind of more highly acclaimed than he is, but he's a talent in his own right. And if you put a bad defender on him, he's going to find a way to get loose and make jump shots.
Nice move.
That is tough. That is tough right there.
Shake and bake by JaMychal Davis.
Off the wrong foot. Ferguson got a little bit out of control right there. Good defense by Davis. After the tough running one-handed finish that he just had. Here we are. Crossover. Stop behind the back. Off the wrong foot too quick. Before the shot block can get there, not a whole lot you can do with that one.
Indians tying it up by virtue of that foray to the hole. Davis.
That's tough. Now you got a 6'10" guy making mid-range jump shots out the corner. This McEachern team is talented, man. They got an answer for you.
And that opportunity to extend the lead. And there's the meeting at the rim.
Look at Derrion Reid, man. He does everything. But Hips, there goes that man, Hips. 3 for 3 to start the third quarter.
Mama, there go that man.
He's content with everybody getting all the other attention. He's just going to get out here and make plays, put the ball in the hole.
Franquan Sherman.
And the length and athleticism has really bothered Sherman tonight.
There it is again, Derrion Reid, but this time he came down on the player. Will They whistled for the foul.
One thing you know about Reid is, though, he's going to contest everything at the rim. He's not giving up any layups. Good, strong take by number 5 from McEachern. That is Jaden Bynes. Way to draw a foul on their best player, Derrion Reid. But it's a good foul for Grovetown because he misses it. Now Grovetown trying to search because Sherman's not playing and giving them quite what they want. They're going to number 14, C.J. Johnson, to see if he can get them a little bit of a lift off the bench.
He's another shooter. And shooter and defender.
Amari Clark gave them that spark off the bench in the first half.
Another 3-and-D guy off the bench for Darren Douglas. He posts up in that corner. Douglas, that's DJ Douglas, the captain, has it in the corner. Freeman and Ferguson, two-man game. Now they get Reid involved. Working against three defenders.
He's a good player, man. Just knows how to score. Not intimidated by size. He's got a 6'9" guy guard him. He's calling for the ball in the post, and he feels very confident that he can score on him. That's pretty impressive at the high school level. But he can also step out and shoot the three. He can make it and get an assist. He can do a lot of different things. High-level player. And, again, I don't know who's doing the rankings, but I want them to show me a highlight film and game tape of all 52 players that are better than him. There's no way there are 52 players better than him in the country in this classification. Absolutely no way. He needs that free throw, though. All of these free throws and all these turnovers are big right now.
Yeah, these are the first 2 misses of the season for Darren Reid. He's been perfect prior to that.
Did you say something about that earlier? Did you give him the commentator jinx?
Nope. No, I stayed
he
away
just did it right there. That's why he missed that one.
I'm going to
tell him after the game to blame the second one on you.
Please do. That'll mean more laps for him and probably a few for me at the Augusta University game tomorrow.
Oh, Lord.
I work with Coach Douglas as my color analyst. As Corey mentioned, he had done a game in my stead when I was doing the battle.
Oh, okay.
Shot clock winding down. There's another 3-ball.
And that's the one thing that people don't know about. Now, that was Jermichael Davis. That's the one thing people don't know if he can do, if he can shoot the ball from the perimeter. So if he adds that to his game, he's going to be scary.
Yeah, that's his first triple. Looking for the answer.
Nice. Good pass.
And there's Douglas.
Woo, that's a high-level play by Derrion Reid. Misses the 3. Chases the rebound now. Spins in the crowd. And with a nice drop-up. And he had just as much of enjoyment off of that pass as he did if he was finishing. And I'm telling you, I'm a little – is DJ Douglas highly recruited? He's a good player, man.
Not highly recruited, but he has getting some looks. He's definitely getting some looks.
He can play at the Division I level. There is no question about it.
He's active.
He plays
and
hard.
And he knows the game. He knows the game.
Exactly. Plays hard. He's smart, bouncy, and he can make a 3. There's a place for him. I'm telling you right now. They're missing a boat on him. And I won't get on my soapbox, but this extra COVID year and everybody recruiting out the portal, there are a lot of seniors that are going under-recruited right now. And it's a shame, but hopefully this thing is cyclical and it'll come back to where these guys get the opportunity that they deserve.
Motion offense now for Coach Carruthers. Leads to another 3-ball.
If Jermichael Davis makes that, I'm telling you right now, I think he's an under-recruited player as well. I think he's a senior. Can't tell me he can't play at the Division I level.
He's got 18.
He's a good player, man. That's a good finish right there, too, by Freeman. Tough, strong-body kid in a crowd. They got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things.
Freeman and Ferguson both capable of carrying the team on their back.
There goes Hips. Hips had missed a shot in the second half.
Hips.
3 threes and a 2.
It's 11 according to my count in the second half. And Darrion Reid just picked up his second personal.
And guess who did it? Hips. He's doing a little bit of everything right now. He's okay with being the 4th or 5th guy. If he's your 4th or 5th best player, you got a good team.
It's a battle of undefeateds. Early on in the 22-23 season at the 2022, and there's a steal. Hawks-Naismith Tipoff Classic.
they're trying to run what they call that Spain action. You run a ball screen, and then you got one of your best shooters coming up to set a back screen for the big who's diving, and it's going to cause a lot of confusion. It has a lot of communication by the defense right there. And usually the guy popping for the jump shot who set the back screen will be wide open, but good strip by Ferguson on that play.
Clark on the floor with Reid.
This has been their best offense so far. Throw the ball to Reid.
Douglas, and they tip it away.
Good hands by Ace Bailey on that.
As Davis down low.
Look at that defense by Roberts. That was a big-time play. Wall up, high hands. Good defense.
Looking for some help there, CJ. Now work the offense in the passing game. Nice pass, blocked inside.
Those are the plays Roberts got to make around the rim. Too big and athletic for that.
Wide open. Goaltending is the call. To McEachern. After Grovetown had walked him down and taken a lead in the second half, they've exploded for an 11-point advantage. Make that 13.
See if he can make his third three of the game.
Davis, cross court, wide open look. He's got it.
Wow.
Give him all three of those.
14, Devin Moise just got the layup. Comes back and makes a three right here.
He's got 7.
Big body Cadillac finished by Derrion Reid. They give up a layup on the other end, though. Oh, wow, I didn't realize this is a 16-point game. This game has got away from them. They need to close this quarter on. They need a basket and a stop.
Clark, off-balance 3-ball, side rim. CJ kept it alive and will stay down this in the Grovetown. Franquan Sherman coming back in. They need some offense.
They got to get a basket and stop here.
Final seconds of the third period.
Huge. That'll be huge.
There it is. Derrion Reid. Cool as the other side of the pillow as he knocks down the triple to close out the third period.
Good patience, stepped into it. Ace Bailey probably overhelped. I probably wouldn't want to give Reid the last second shot. I would have lived with someone else taking it. Huge three to cut it to 13, but McEachern has all the momentum going into this fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter right around the corner in the 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic on SUV TV. Back inside Holy Innocents Episcopal School here in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the final game, game 6 of 6 on the slate for today. Nationally ranked Grovetown on the ropes against McEachern, 7A ball club from Powder Springs. Driving to the lane, Davis.
Good
rebound by Reid. Reid will bring it in the front court. Kicks it on the right side. That's Ferguson. Back to Reid on the post up. He's got a height advantage down there. Now a double team comes, goes cross court. Ferguson kicks it in the wing. Wide open look. 3-ball. Rattles out, tipped up and in, and that might get Sherman going.
And they threw 13 Kinsey in the game. He hasn't played all game. And looks Grovetown's looking for a little bit of a spark through him in the game late. Let's see if he can give him something. That's Hip's first miss.
Coach, that was Franquan Sherman's first basket of the game.
Wow.
Young man had scored 13 against Cross Creek, 13 against Westside, back-to-back state champions.
Oh, my goodness. And he's a good player, so he should.
Reid.
I hope it's just a cramp. I hope it's just a cramp. Did he land on the funny? I turned around. Did he land on the funny, or is it just a cramp? They don't have a chance without him. I'm hoping it's a cramp. Okay, here we go. Instant replay. Big time spin move. Dunked it. I don't see anybody up under him, but he looked like he was yelling in the air. So I think he felt it cramping in the air before he even landed.
Yeah, that's why he didn't want to come down.
Yeah. Okay, that makes me I feel way better now, though. We can deal with the cramp. He can get some potassium in him and he can come back in. I feel much better about that. I didn't want it to be some kind of major injury. But these are precious minutes that they don't. I almost might have called a timeout to try to keep him in the game. He's playing well.
He rebounded the miss on that last shot by E.J. Kinsey.
I don't know about that one. He rushed
Wild
it.
Shot there. Ferguson goes right wing corner. Sherman.
Sherman needed that.
Sherman
might have woke him up.
Back-to-back field goals.
Good pass by Ferguson. They need him.
Here come the Warriors.
Just like that, 6-point game. Nice pass by Ferguson. Spotted Sherman in the corner. Just got his first basket on a putback. High-level player that just hadn't been able to get a goal tonight. Now he's got 2 in a row. You can just see the language. He wants to try to get himself going. He hasn't played quite as well as he would have liked, but there's still 6 minutes left. Their best player is hurt, so plenty of opportunities to impact the game tonight.
Still working on Derrion Reid.
I'd be working on Derrion. I'd have 2 or 3 guys over there. We need to get him back in the game as soon as we can.
Well, actually, Coach was over there for a while, so there was a couple.
He knows how important this is. Somebody needs to give him a banana. They got these new drinks they can give you. Somebody needs to have some salt. They got to do something. They got to get him back in there. It's early in the year, so these are usually the times when you have these issues with cramps.
It looks like some electro stim they added on that one. I saw the laser in there. Technology, it has grown.
Something else, isn't it?
It is. Like you said, we were old school back in the day. Let's get some salt tablets.
I saw we had salt and bananas. That's all we had.
And water.
Exactly. See if they go to a double team or if they let them play one-on-one.
Yeah, DJ back on the floor defensively. Nice turnaround and a
tough shot.
Bucket.
Tough shot. Not a whole lot you can do with that.
That's Bailey's first field goal since the first half.
Good pass.
Good look.
Oh, you got to finish that.
Freeman gets a second try. That's rejected. Knocked out of there by Moise.
Carry. Good call by the official. Darren Reed's ready. He thinks he's ready to go back in. I'm not sure if he is, but he's going back in regardless.
Yeah, needs to get some. He's stretching out as he comes back in.
Can't afford to leave him out of the game.
He'll come in for E.J. Kinsey. Entering the lineup for Coach Crothers. Number 24 coming in. Oh, Freeman.
See if Ferguson can make another 3. That's huge. He finally got himself going.
Franquan Sherman.
Is he getting recruited? Is he going anywhere?
Sherman was a player that had a lot of expectations coming into this contest. He just decommitted from Winthrop.
Okay.
Opened up his recruitment, and yeah, the calls are coming.
I'm sure they are. He's a good player, man. Good size, can make a shot left-handed. I mean, he's at least 6'5", long arms, can make a 3, can finish at the rim. A lot of people want his services. Just like that, 5-point game.
Played at the single-A level in his freshman year at Lincoln County. Transferred over.
Good decision for him. Just gave up a basket, though. No.
There's a defensive stand by Sherman. Now he's looking to go coast to coast to the bucket.
Coaches and their fans looking for a foul call right there, but look clean at the bottom. Good shot fake by Reid. That's a huge shot. Look at Sherman. He's playing now.
Once again, he traveled. Can be called for a travel.
He will be.
No basket.
Good play, though. I think it was a good call as well.
He realizes it.
Yeah, he shoveled his feet. I like his energy and activity, though. His body language, everything has changed.
Yeah, I think he was expecting contact on that when they pulled the rug out from under him.
He's big and strong. He just got to go finish that.
There's contact on the perimeter by Ferguson. 5-point game inside of 5 minutes left to play. Immediately following this one, we'll have post-game festivities coming your way. Mike Thompson, the coach.
They've done a good job. Grovetown's done a good job on Hips because Hips was really scoring at a high rate to start the third quarter. I talked him up.
Another open look. Sitting there calmly, ready to knock down another three.
And he's got a awkward rotation on his jump shot, but he makes it.
Sidewinding as it goes up.
It is.
He's got 6 made threes in the game, Coach.
He's been their most valuable offensive player.
He's red hot. That basket extends the lead to 8. There's the answer.
That is tough.
Ferguson. We talked about his strength. That was on display right there.
He better not give any open shots up to Hips, though.
He's got 14. There he is again, looking to get open.
That's actually a good read and a good pass by him. Backdoor cut. Good decision.
Binds his first triple.
He's a live body. He's not a bad player either. I mean, they got some guys over at McEachern, man.
They've got 12 made threes in this contest. I'm talking about McEachern. You talked about your dislike of the three-point game, or at least the way the game has changed in that way.
I just want you to take good ones. That's all I want you to take. And I think for the most part, there have been a majority good ones in this game. Like that one right there.
Lining up the puppies.
You got to take that one.
And burying the triple. Mr. Bynes. Talked about Sherman being warmed up. There's Sherman.
There he is.
Janky lefty.
Man, he's a tough cover, man. If he would have played like this early, we'd have a totally different game. He's really played much better in this second half. Really this fourth quarter.
And it's critical for him to play like this with the schedule that they have coming up.
He's got to do it every night.
Yeah, Grovetown plays the number 24 ranked Newton High School in the next contest. That happening in just a few days after the Buford game. Buford is Tuesday, and then that Friday it's Newton. That Saturday it's number 7 Wheeler. Then they'll face the 2A finalist Butler.
My goodness.
Following that, they place Coach Carlos Boozer's sons, Caden and Cameron. And they're going down to
Who
Columbus.
put this schedule together?
Taking on Columbus out of the Florida area near Miami. And then they play in the Kingdom of the Sun tournament.
Oh, it's been a good tournament.
Yes. And then it's Hamilton Heights, South Effingham, and they get in the conference schedule after that. So Murderers Row lined up for Grovetown.
By the time they get into region play, they will have seen and played against every type of style and every type of player that you could have imagined.
Those youngsters, Carlos's boys, are tremendous players.
Got a mismatch. I thought DJ should have took advantage. He had a guarding him right there.
Ferguson to Sherman.
Good
Reid,
shot fake. I love his shot fakes, man. I love it.
Shot attempt no good. DJ Douglas going high.
Reid's not the same. His calf's just not feeling good, I can tell.
You also heard his left hand, I believe.
Yeah,
left hand that it's wrapped up.
It's been taped up all game. I'm assuming that happened before we even got here today. But, I mean, you can just tell he's walking with a gimp, so when your calf's not right, you know, that impacts your explosion, your quickness. So he's just trying to play without getting hurt right now, which is affecting his overall game. I hate it because this could be a, one that's coming down tight down the stretch.
Lead is 8. There is Bailey drilling a pair. He's got 14. Freeman misfires and back the other way with a chance to take the lead to double figures.
Good patience by Hips right here. McEachern's going to be tough to beat, man. They got a good team.
A lot of length, outstanding athleticism, and no fear.
I mean, they got 6, 7, 8 dudes that can play, man. Darren Reid said he said I'm done. He can't play anymore. He probably knew he shouldn't have came back in, but it's cramping too bad. He can't play.
DJ Douglas also injured.
I would not want to play these guys from McEachern when it comes tournament time, man. You got to have size. You got to have guys who can really defend and who are sound. And you got to have 3 perimeter defenders at least that are good perimeter defenders, because they got guys that can hurt you in multiple ways. Not only that, you're going to have to be able to score 83, 84 points.
That's right.
If you can't get to 83, 84, 85, it's going to be hard to beat them.
You talk about the confidence that comes along with that ability, like we talked about. It is Reid. He's just off the screen to your right there as he gets worked on. It appears to be a cramp.
Definitely. But it's tough when it's just nonstop. It won't go away, and it's pulsating on you. He wants to just get off the court so everybody can play, but it's going to be a struggle to even get off the court.
He's in a lot of pain.
I'm assuming that's his mother who came over.
All right, so we've got Derrion Reid, ESPN top 60 player in the junior class, making his way to the sideline following what appears to be a cramp in his left leg. That might mark the end of his activities, and we talked about what they have coming up on their slate. It's talented teams.
It's only 2 minutes left in the game. It's going to be hard for him to play.
Yeah, next man up mentality.
Yeah. Now you got 2 starters who are out. It's going to be tough sledding to finish with now. 9-point game. Potential to be 11-point game. Playing against a team who's high-powered. I really like what I've seen out of this McEachern team.
Freeman at the line. Made the first, missed the second. So we got a 10-point game. Just over 2 minutes left. Driving and scoring.
If Sherman could have just played like this early in the game, he's going to end up with his average. What does he have, 11, 12?
I got him unofficially for 9.
Good patience and poise right here. JaMychal's done a great job running the point, kind of keeping the team under control. Look at that play by JaMychal. That's a good foul. But he's been able to get into the paint and cause havoc all night and make great decisions. This is a great read right here. Nice bounce pass. You win with guard play. And when your guards are able to get to the paint and draw the defense in and make the right decisions, and you're going to be able to get good shots all night, you got a high level chance of winning. So he's played really, really well. And if it's college coaches out there that are looking for a senior point guard, it'd be hard pressed to find plenty of guys that are much better than him.
We got a timeout. Comes with a minute, 24 seconds left. In a game where someone's O has to go. Grovetown, trailing by 9, still has a glimpse of life, but they're going to have to put on a feverish defensive effort against an experienced team, as you said, that's come together, and they're playing extremely well and have done so for most of this contest. Had one little momentary lapse where Grovetown made a run at the beginning of the third period, and outside of that, they've been on the pedal all out.
I mean, I think Grovetown played well for the most part. I mean, the only thing you can say is Sherman didn't play particularly well early, but he's played great late. As a team, they've competed. They matched them shot for shot at moments, but I just think sometimes you just run into a team that's high-powered, and when they're making shots from all over the court, it's just going to be a tough game. And Hips, he kind of stretched that lead out in the third quarter and made it tough.
On the inbounds, we got a foul. Dead ball foul. Grovetown over the limit. A 1-and-1 opportunity for Hips. Perfect 3 for 3 at the line.
Yeah, the way he shot the ball, man, I don't think he's going to miss a free throw.
6'4" junior.
He's going to get recruited by a lot of people too. When you got some size and some length and you can make shots, coaches will find you. He's a good player.
Got 16 points in the second half to go along with the outstanding first half Hips had. 25 in the game for Moses Hips. Ferguson knocking one down.
He's a good player, man. I like him a lot.
Get an opportunity to watch him at Georgia State.
They're going to like him a lot. He'll be in the star lineup early. He's going to be an integral player for them for the next 4 years. This Grovetown team is they're going to win a lot of games this year too, and I wouldn't want to see them in the state tournament either. They're a good team.
Obviously, coach, like many of those, Darren Douglas wanting that region championship first, then an opportunity to compete for the state championship. And
what classification is Grovetown?
6. And they had designs on maybe a Geico national championship opportunity.
With that gauntlet of the schedule they played, it's going to be tough because you gotta win a lot of those games.
CJ underneath the basket, kicks it out. Sherman,
good extra pass.
Working the perimeter. Kinsey,
great job flying around by McEachern, man. You got it.
Driving.
That's impressive. They were flying around.
Now looking for an opportunity to wind this one down inside the final 30 seconds that is of the final period. There's a whistle on the perimeter and a foul committed by Grovetown. McEachern, they had a belief. They saw that championship medal and they wanted every piece of it. Coming off of 2 nice wins. Green Forest, the single A private power from years gone by. They beat them by 3.
They only beat Green Forest by 3? Wow.
69-66. And then
Forest
Westlake.
Good team.
Yeah, Westlake, they took care of them 75-69. So a 6-point win there. Kinsey.
Well, we talked about it earlier, though. Maybe they're coming together because they had a lot of pieces that had to mesh together because they played well tonight. Well, I would imagine if they struggled in those games that this is probably the best that they played all year, and it's just going to continue to improve as the season goes on and they get to know each other better.
Final seconds of this one.
Now, see, that's the way I wanted him to take the ball to the basket earlier in the game.
And that's usually how he rolls.
Yeah.
I think he was out of sorts, getting a shot rejected a couple of times in the early portion of this contest.
He was. I agree.
Such an integral part of their championship run last year, 29 victories. He makes the second of 2 with 1.7 seconds left. But today and this evening belongs to the Indians. McEachern victorious in the final game of the 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tipoff Classic, taking care of previously undefeated and the defending and reigning 6A state champions Grovetown. They go down defeat by a final count of 88-80. Coach, what a tremendous set of games we've had all day long here at the Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic.
Great events by the Hawks-Naismith. Unbelievable event by SUV TV, and we had a great time tonight. I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for everything, man. I enjoyed it.
For the hardworking men and women of SUV TV, Charles McNeil will be sending it upstairs after this timeout for the post-game show. It's right around the corner. Stay with us. The Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic postgame show is up next. You're watching SUV TV.
'88-80 the final. McEachern gets the big win over Grovetown in our final game, final broadcast of the night. The 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic is now history, and we come back up one more time tonight here topside. Corey Hodges, Faith Daniels, Mike Thompson, the coach, and a great game again all the way to the very finish, and it is Coach Thompson who wins our little bet. McEachern came through for you again, Coach.
They did. They shot it really well. Jamichael Davis and Hips did some big shots in the second half. They really shot it well. I don't know what the percentage was, but it was high.
Yeah.
So scoring that many points, Grovetown's a great team. That was a playoff basketball game, really.
I agree. One thing I picked up on, Faith, and maybe you did as well, that last defensive stand, I know Coach did, of course, that last defensive stand by McEachern, they celebrated more than they had the entire game on getting that last defensive stop. High fives all the way down the bench. You could tell defense, big part of the order here.
Even being up 5 to 10 points, they're like, no, it still matters. We are going to fight hard to the end. So
Yeah, getting the win and closing down the Classic. We really saw something here that could be kind of back to our point that we've made throughout the day. Could be something you see in a February or a March in region play. Good stuff like this going back and forth. Like you said, kind of postseason basketball style.
Yeah, that's the good thing about these kind of situations when they put teams together like this.
Yeah.
It gives you that playoff atmosphere in November, which is kind of hard to recreate until you get to the playoffs. So this will be good. The kids can fall back on this later on when they get into the playoffs, state tournament, that kind of stuff, and it'll keep them tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that will pay dividends down the line. Wanted to get a reaction from you both before we break away tonight. Kind of the not last day of school kind of feeling, but one of those things, you close down something, you want to get everyone's thoughts on it. It's just it's just how I am. But I wanted to start first here with Faith. Back after 3 years, you finally get this Hawks-Naismith back. And I've been to Atlanta a handful of times, and it's always a great experience. This city is something special. And it puts on a great show, and it's great to have the Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic back.
It is. This is my first one. So
yeah, me too.
Being in person, just getting the atmosphere. I haven't been to a high school basketball game in like 3-4 years, so just to get the atmosphere again, it was fun. So I'm going to say 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been the Hawks always put on a great event.
Always.
And the basketball in Atlanta is outstanding. Yeah. They do a great job. SUV TV has always been a big supporter of high school basketball. And so you put everybody together that does a great job here, and it's always one of the best events of the year, really.
Yeah, a long-standing thing back in the day was, Atlanta, one of the great cities. It continues to be that and continues to put on a great show, a city that always hosts a great event. The Hawks-Naismith is that event, and it's been fun from 12 until 9:40 on this Saturday. But again, I reiterate, it's been a lot of fun, and couldn't spend it with a better group here. Period. Absolutely. It's been fun. Of course, could not do any of this, as always, without the help of Marcus Burnett, Lisa Burnett, the entire team. Of course, Sylvester Williams, who was here earlier. Always a fun show. Charles McNeil as well helped us out with some stats earlier, and he's been part of the battle and a lot of different things. Consummate pro. Always great to see him. Again, our entire table here, Corey Hodges, Faith Daniels, Mike Thompson, the legendary coach at McEachern. And McEachern gets the win in our final matchup of the night over Grovetown. That's it. It's been a lot of fun. You could do a lot on your Saturday. This is about number one on my list of things I could do on a Saturday. I hope it was yours as well. That's it on this Saturday night from north of Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, Georgia. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. The 2022 Hawks-Naismith Tip-Off Classic. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanksgiving next week as well, so happy early Thanksgiving. That's it tonight on SUV TV.